This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hello everybody and welcome to show 143, Aussie Mac Zone. And I think I've got Garth with me tonight. How are you, bud?
Well, yet to be seen. You have at the moment. Let's hope the old internet holds out throughout the whole show, eh?
Yes.
How are you, Michael? How are you?
Fantastic, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Oh, good to hear. You sound like you're on top of the world over there. I don't know what's going on. What's in the water?
We've just got autumn. Autumn's just hit Sydney, let me tell you.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, it's been a bit brisk in the mornings and just started to rain, so...
Okay. Yes. Yeah, brisk in the mornings and starting to rain. You sound like you've moved to the UK or something. I'm not sure that that's an improvement, but, whatever works for you. Oh, I'm leaving for work in the dark and getting home in the dark now, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that sun in the afternoon knocks me about when I'm driving along. Yeah, just right in your eye, below the sun visor, right in your eye.
Well, bring on the Apple self-driving car, eh?
Yes, yeah, I can be in the back drinking the alcohol on the way home.
Exactly. Nice cold beer.
Yeah. So don't forget, we're presented by athwebhosting.com.au with our Sydney-based Australian servers, affordable competitive plans, 99.95% uptime. Can do domain registration, instant activation, WordPress, which I've been doing a website for a customer at the moment using WordPress for the first time as well. So I'm doing a lot of learning at the moment with different things. So that's
very good. Very good.
Oh yeah, it's not bad for an old bloke.
Yeah.
$5.95 per month when paid annually. Don't forget that little bit. And friendly help when needed. That's important.
Yeah.
So our little Aussie Apple Ramblings. So we've got some worldwide developers conference rumours. So the first one we'll start with, my friend, is apps. So ability to hide the stock Apple apps like the stock app. Apple developing support for paid subscription content in its news app. Or Apple's standalone HomeKit app could finally arrive in OS 10. Assuming we get OS 10, of course. What do you reckon, my friend?
I think that one's a pretty safe assumption. Definitely going to have an OS 10. Yeah. Home app, I don't know, maybe. It's been a slow rollout, getting everyone on board with the additional hardware that, Apple have wanted them to, make sure they're as secure as they can be, I guess.
That's right, the security thing, yes.
The security thing. So it's been a slow time coming. A long time coming, maybe even. But both, yeah. And it's out there and people are using it and there's all sorts of, hooks into Siri already, but I don't know, there just doesn't seem an integrated, easy to use, way of doing it. So let's hope with Home, if HomeKit does come to the home screen, it'll make it a little bit easier. And, for me though, it's the functionality. Like, I don't really need to turn the light out with my phone from remotely. It's just like, yeah, okay.
I can tell you, speaking from experience, this is one that I do.
Yes.
Turn the electric blankets on when we're on the way home from somewhere.
Ah, okay.
Right. It was the air conditioner in summer, but it's now winter. And so we turn the electric blanket on when we're coming home, after being out at night or whatever. It's not on a timer. It's a Wemo switch, simple as that.
Okay, I'll pay that. If I lived in a slightly colder clime, that might be quite a appealing option actually.
and also
hiding apps. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, also when I was before Karen started full-time work again, we had it so that when I was a certain distance from home, the light would flash in winter. So, just a reading light would flash on and off, so that she wouldn't be scared by someone at the door. You know what I mean?
So the light flashing on and off randomly all of a sudden didn't scare her, but
No, that was about 10 minutes, before I got home. So,
so she had time to get over that before you actually
Yes.
got to the door. Did she talk you into that, by the way? Because I'm thinking, that was her idea, and it's actually she's just like, okay, quick, but time to look busy.
That's right. It could
Get
be.
get the cooking. Yes, dinner's nearly ready. Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Time to wake up. Now, I do like the idea of hiding a few apps, but I could care less on the phone because look, that's what folders are at the back of Beyond.
Yeah.
But I want to hide some stock apps on my watch.
True.
There's this massive little pile of little icons there, and you don't use most of them.
Yes, true.
That'd be the best ones to be able to hide, I reckon. But nice either way.
Yeah.
Now, what about
they're not
paid
gonna give us
content?
folders, really, are they?
Not on the what? Well, they could do, I suppose.
Yeah, but paid content. Yeah, I don't really want paid content myself. It doesn't help discovery. It doesn't help anybody but the people that can afford it. Really, does it?
Yeah, we've already. It mirrors society in general with 1% having 60% or whatever the numbers are. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that I don't see how this could help that situation at all. By the same token, do we need the App Store to be a virtue of of I don't know. I don't like the idea.
Yeah.
And let's hope it's one of the rumors that is a lot of rubbish.
Yes.
Let's say that word.
All
Yeah.
right. So we've also got the App Store itself. So Apple to revamp App Store browsing, again, perhaps with paid search results. Phil Schiller is going to respond to developer complaints about App Store algorithms broken since at least 2013. That's a couple to do with the App Store.
Yeah. I guess it could certainly use it, couldn't it?
Yeah. If it has been broken that long, and
well, I don't know. It seems finding stuff on the App Store is fine if you know what you want, if you know what it's called, but there's no sort of, okay, I want this kind of app, other than just the broad headings of games and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
To do or whatever. I don't know.
Look up
it's
the
not
word
the
productivity.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't know. How do they then go and rank those? With Google, they've got the whole how many sites are linking to that site, and how much importance do we give to each of those sites that are linking, and they've got a whole heap of information they can use to rank on importance rather than just popularity. You know what I mean? So it's not just about popularity. There's a lot of other stuff. There's an importance thing there. So other than having, I guess it's a hard. What I'm trying to say, I think, is that it's a harder problem than we might expect.
Yeah, and a lot of it's, I think, up to us, the users, to actually rank the app, give a review. It can't be tricked with a bot or anything like that. It can't be scammed, and it boils down to being up to us to actually improve the system ourselves just by ranking an app. And that's why they keep asking us, do you want to review this app over and over and over again? And they'll ask you every time you do an update too. Yeah,
that gets a bit tiring too. But you can see the importance, I guess.
Yes.
Wonder how much that does play into search results.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it must be a harder problem than it looks. Otherwise, there's no excuse.
Yeah, when you're thinking of millions and millions of people, millions of apps, must be challenging. Just the numbers alone.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to find quality. That's a general thing with the internet, though, isn't it? How do you assign importance and quality to stuff? Other than just popularity or whatever. Yeah.
And cost doesn't actually guarantee quality either. Just keep that in mind.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Or fortunately.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
What else have we got, Michael?
Apple Music and iTunes. So Apple Music's iOS 10 overhaul detail. We believe a black and white user interface, huge artwork, lyrics integration. Apple will unveil a more intuitive version of Apple Music. That's a couple of things that we're expecting.
More intuitive would be certainly good. I couldn't care less if it's black and white or it has the lyrics there, but more intuitive would certainly be a good thing.
Yeah.
The Apple Music service is just trying to do too much, it seems, doesn't it? I think we said this before. Yeah, right when they launched it, or even before they launched it, when we were hearing about it, I was saying, it's being everything. It's trying to, whatever way you want to listen to music, it's trying to give you that option.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it just becomes confusing. So, yeah.
Lyrics means a lot to people, I think.
Yeah,
or
it
maybe
does.
just old farts like us that are used to having the LP day, when you had the lyrics on the back or the lyrics on the inside, or and some of the words these days are crap, so it's hard to hear them anyway.
Well, you can really double check that, wrapped up like a douche. Make sure what exactly is that? Is it a douche or a deuce? What are they wrapped up like, and why are they wrapped up?
Yeah, it's true.
So there's got to be benefits there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Just if they can make it more intuitive and more consistently responsive. Most of the time, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Thing I love about Apple Music is the way I interact with it is through Siri, and that's the true strength of Apple Music in its current, current iteration. So hopefully they, build on that and get a bit of. It's just got no respect at all, has it?
and also, one of the points I missed here was Apple Music Connect social network to be demoted in the iOS 10 overhaul. So does that mean we're giving up on
Ping once again?
Yeah. Ping's ponged again, or
yeah. Well, I don't know. Did anyone think that was going to work?
I would have thought it was good for indies. I would have, if they'd embraced it, I thought it would be good for them. If that's where people are listening to their music. But
yeah, well, no. No. You would think, it's funny really, isn't it? You would think with a company like Apple, who has cult followers, basically, people love, if people love Apple products, they love their Apple products often.
Yep.
I can't seem to get any kind of social network thing going. You'd think with that kind of clientele at the heart, you would think they'd be able to get a social network going, but no.
No, it just doesn't. So our next field of vision is Siri. So is Siri coming to the Mac? Apple plans to bring Siri remote features to the iOS remote app in 2016. Apple planning Siri SDK for WWDC as it builds Amazon Echo / Google Home hardware competitor.
Do you reckon that one's happening, or is that just wishful thinking by somebody? What do you reckon your chances are on that?
I would think if 60-40 at the moment, I would have thought. Or
okay.
40-60, shall I say? Yeah,
40. 40-60 to no?
Yeah.
40 to yes? Yeah. That's probably a fair call.
It'll just be a Siri thing, won't it? Like just...
Yeah.
And it's just, they've got to learn, Siri's got to learn different people somehow. So then you can argue over the remote by yelling at the box. It depends on the integration with the HomeKit too. That's one way of promoting the HomeKit a bit more. So
I don't know. I don't see that happening this year. I really hope for the improvements to Siri that are also rumored.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine them putting out that kind of a device just yet. A refresh, that's the sort of thing I would expect to see in a refreshed Apple TV, maybe.
Yeah, a big one.
Um,
Well, we've just had our refreshed Apple TV, which is why we've got
yeah,
the Siri remote. We can talk to it.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I
Maybe,
look. I
maybe
hope
it's just a charger for the remote, so it's listening all the time. You know.
possibly. Yeah. Or, but the whole speaker thing is what makes it good, though. That's what you don't have with the Apple TV. With that kind of Alexa type device or Google
Yeah,
Home type
yeah,
device, the thing you've got is a speaker that you can put anywhere. With an Apple TV type device, it's stuck there.
yeah, yep.
It's going to be at your TV, obviously. Where else are you going to put it? So you can't have one in the kitchen. You can't have one here, there, and everywhere. So there really is a benefit of having that kind of device that you can put anywhere you feel like having one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a long shot at this point.
Yeah. Siri coming to the Mac?
Definitely. That one I think I'll give that 90.
90, yep.
Yep.
Right.
90%.
Yeah.
Even if it's only a text interface, it's probably voice interface.
Yeah.
That's another thing I'm hoping for. Text interface to Siri on iOS as well as on the Mac.
So you want a text interface, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're out, you would do something through Siri, but you don't really want to be talking to your phone.
Okay.
You could just type it in, or you're in a noisy environment, whatever. It's so much better to just be able to type in the query.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So, and I think I'll give that one. You know what? We should do what a lot of people do, I guess, and do up a bingo card.
Bingo card. Yep.
Yeah, and we'll see if anyone else wants to play.
All right.
And I'll do up a bingo card. There you go. And put all these rumors in there, and people can send in yes and no's to each of them. And we'll record our own, and we'll have a game of bingo on.
See where we get to. Yeah.
See where we get. Yeah.
iCloud. So Apple working on stronger iCloud backup encryption and iPhone security to counter FBI unlock requests. I think that's 100%.
Yeah. I think that's happening. That's just happening all the time anyway, don't you reckon?
Yeah. Well, it should be, because you don't want people breaking into your equipment, do you? Into your data.
Whether they make it
to hide, but yeah.
No, you still and all, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not they would make it, that sort of back end type stuff, a line in the, does someone say it during WWDC?
Yeah.
Or is it just something that's happening in the background anyway?
Yeah. True.
Oh, yeah.
So Apple Pay and Touch ID. So Apple in talks to launch person-to-person Apple Pay mobile payment system in 2016. Some banks said to be working on Apple Pay support for ATM withdrawals. Apple applies for patent for person-to-person payments secured by Touch ID. OS X 10.12 to feature support for unlocking Macs with iPhone's Touch ID. So there you go.
I hope so. That's one of these apps. You can get an app to do that, can't you? To unlock your Mac with your phone.
Yeah,
There's an app you can get. So
once you're in a certain range, it picks
it
up and.
So that's a sort of simple feature that I would feel a lot better using at a core, a system level than some third-party app I was installing to do that.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing I can easily imagine them integrating, putting in there. Yeah.
So
Apple Pay, person-to-person Apple Pay. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it'll only be Apple to Apple, won't it? Like it'll only.
Yeah.
Like iMessage to iMessage or something like that.
Yeah.
It?
Well, does that get in the way very often? Who wants to talk to all those Android users anyway? So I don't want to give them any money.
That's
Come on.
Right. Yeah.
No, it obviously has its limitations, but with the number of people who are on that platform, who are on Apple's platform, I think you've still got a massive market who may find that useful.
Yeah. Apple Pay support for ATM withdrawals. Do they have tap and go ATMs in America? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I think that one's a long shot.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way, it'll be a damn long time before we see it here, if it does happen.
Patent for person-to-person payments. Well,
That's just a thing. Yeah.
I don't know what's different to the person-to-person payments, except for the Touch ID that they can apply for a patent for. But anyway.
No, well, that's all they're saying. They're supporting the rumor by saying, yes, we know that there has been a patent.
Yeah.
There is a patent that they have patented that. There is a pending patent on that, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a little while back. Yeah.
So that's what we've got to look forward to in a couple of weeks' time.
Anything else, you reckon?
No, I think that covers it. That's
Mhm.
I'm quite
Okay.
happy with all of that.
Well, sometime between now and next week, I'll put together a bingo card and yeah.
Two cameras on a 7 or
Yeah, that's the September event though, isn't it?
yeah, but they would. Don't you think they'd have to announce something for the developers, or they might just tell them later on, of course.
Mm.
But
Mm.
do you think it's going to be called iPhone 7, or are they going to change the naming?
I don't know. So there's another rumor, isn't it? That we're going to go to a 3-year cycle rather than a 2-year cycle.
Yeah.
This time around, and that's
Yes.
I don't think it's a bad idea either, to be honest.
Well, if nearly everybody's got a phone,
Mm.
and we know Apple's build quality is excellent. They were talking about the only thing is, keeping and advancing product. You don't want, say, Google coming out with something special, and Apple not wanting to release something for a couple of years because it doesn't suit their cycle. That's the only problem, isn't it, with cycling?
See, I don't think there'd be a huge amount of difference. It's any kind of feature like that they would easily put in. They'll still do a phone every year.
Yeah.
It's just, do we change the chassis every year, every 2 years?
Yeah.
And to be in a lot of ways, there was not a huge difference between the 4 to the 5 anyway. It was the same basic design.
Yeah.
We had a 4, a 4S, a 5, and a 5S, and they're a bit thinner, a bit longer. Only incremental changes anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't, there's not a huge. It's more about the naming and the what you're trying to say with the name. What expectations you're trying to set about the new device. Okay, yeah, it's basically like the other one. It's just got newer and better insides.
What do you think? As someone said, I think it was Mac OS Ken. They were talking. Are they going to hold off doing something big this year so they can do it next year for the 10th anniversary, like things like that? But they can't afford to hold off.
I don't.
The challenge, isn't it? Yeah.
It would have to be one of the least. For a company like Apple, I think that would have to be very low down on the hierarchy of how we're going to make the decision about what we choose to go in this phone. Maybe it sways at some point, but all else being equal, it's only point something like that would influence the choice they would make about what they put in the next phone. There'd be 100 other logistics and market research and so forth, a lot of other stuff that would come before that in terms of making a decision about what was included in that next handset, and what the overall design of the phone is going to be like.
True, I agree. I do agree with that. Yeah. So that's all of our bit of future gazing, except getting back onto the Apple's rival to the Echo. Could know who you are just by looking at you. So the report, CNET reports that the consumer electronics giant has explored putting a camera in its device, which could come in the form of a smart speaker like Amazon's Echo, according to people who are familiar with Apple's plans. Yeah. So the device will be self-aware and detect who is in the room using facial recognition technology. That would let the device automatically pull up a person's preferences, music, lighting, etc. Which is HomeKit integration, isn't it?
Yeah, but think of the lighting, so and so unnamed walks in the room and it goes to it, lights dim and romantic music comes on. Yeah.
Just trying to get me into trouble, aren't you?
No, Karen. Obviously, I was talking about.
So, they just remember that Apple can change its plans or not even release the product, and Apple declined to comment. So yeah, but again, the challenge is people hate cameras floating around, don't they? As per like Google Glass, so that's a bit of a challenge.
I know they don't seem to mind having their Xboxes hanging about.
True. Yes.
So,
but that's gaming. That's different. That's not life. That's gaming.
Yeah. It's not. I don't know. That's the whole thing. Even with just with the microphones, Apple have always strayed away from that creepy zone.
Yeah.
And that seems to me to stray very, very much within that creepy zone.
Straight back into it.
Yeah. Like, my wife.
We can't see you properly with the camera. We're going to turn the lights up.
Yes, there you go.
I don't know what you're doing. I can't see what you're doing. You might be wanting to talk to me.
Exactly.
And get your tongue out of her throat.
Oh, God. My wife doesn't even like talking to the Siri remote on the Apple TV.
Okay.
No, she'd prefer to struggle through the interface than just press the button and talk to it, because it's just not a natural thing for some people to want to talk to a machine. Yep. It's just no, I don't like that. Obviously,
hire a butler, won't you?
Sorry,
you have to hire her a butler.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. Can you please tell?
So, moving on, we've got Foxconn. We only had a story last week, the week before, about Foxconn hiring heaps and heaps more people to produce more phones. But now we've got a story that says Foxconn cuts 60,000 factory jobs and replaces them with robots. So the Reverge reports Foxconn, the largest contract electronics manufacturer in the world, says it has automated away 60,000 jobs in one of its factories. The cuts are part of an ongoing process to replace humans responsible for many of the manufacturing tasks associated with their operations. The company said in a statement, Foxconn helps manufacture Apple's iPhone and iPad, Samsung's Galaxy phone line, Sony's PlayStation 4, as well as other brands. So we are applying robotics, engineering and other innovative manufacturing technologies to replace repetitive tasks previously done by employees, and through training also enable our employees to focus on higher valued added elements in the manufacturing process, such as research and development, process control, quality control. We will continue to harness automation and manpower in our manufacturing operations, and we expect to maintain our significant workforce in China. And the company still employs more than 1.2 million people.
Yeah, that huge number of 60,000 suddenly became a lot smaller, didn't it?
Did.
With 1.2 million.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's the whole, whole lot to be said about that one. That's what you would expect, really. And the kind of roles that they're getting rid of in favour of the robots are not the kind of roles that
you'd want to be doing anyway, would you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's probably overall a good thing.
If it's that repetitive, yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's still going to be aspects of construction of all this stuff that we use, and it's going to require that kind of role. So we can all still feel a bit guilty, but yes. It's just it's the price that we don't pay that other people pay for what we do.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I personally can't do repetitive work anymore, and that stopped when I was about 20. I used to make winding transformers, and it just makes me physically sick now to do something over and over and over and over and over and over again. Just
okay.
My brain just can't handle that,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's just me, and I appreciate the people who can do it. So. So here's one. I personally signed up for the complete iOS 9 developer course. And our friend Glenn at ATH Web Hosting has arranged a deal which is 57% off. So it's only $17 and you get 200 plus lectures and 20 plus hours of video. There'll be a link in the show notes. It's at mightydeals.com. And there's only a few hours left. That might be a day left of that discount.
Okay.
And I'm up to lecture, video maybe 10. The first 3 are a bit advertising, explaining what his process and what you're getting for your money, blah blah blah. But I wrote my first iPhone app last night, and then expanded on it a little bit just for myself. So it's more than just Hello World. We did that, way back in lecture number 4. But we've got it where you click a button, and if it's got an answer in there, it gives you your cat's age. So it multiplies human years and cat years, and gives you what you believe, what you would think your cat's age is. So
there you go.
I know it doesn't sound much, but once you've actually done it, it's exciting to learn and find.
And even an old bugger like you can learn something new, eh?
Yes, and I've never done Swift programming. It hasn't been 30 years since I've done programming. I've done a bit of copy and pasting and things from to do with the Raspberry Pi. To actually sit there and have to work out something brand new in Swift. So if you're doing an if statement, which they haven't got up to on the courses yet, but that's what I made my phone do, an if else statement in there. So I'm learning, I'm succeeding, and this is basically so I can hopefully write an Apple TV app for Aussie Zone. That's the reason I'm doing
Excellent.
it.
Excellent.
So
That'll be $17 very well spent if you manage it.
Plus $149 to become a developer of.
Of course. Well,
yes.
You don't have to do that straight away, though.
No, I can do that. That's one of the last examples, actually. But he does walk you through that as well. That's walk you through the process. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you can get one written, I'll help you get you. I was going to say I'll help you get your developer's license. How about that?
Yeah, we'll be right, mate. We'll get there. Thank you. Thank you. So we've got a couple of quick stories. Apple Store's worst feature, customers, says ex-employee. So in a recent Business Insider interview, a female ex-employee spoke out, though she suggests that the very worst thing about the stores isn't the management, the products, or even the cult-like nature of the Apple brand. And she said it's the fact that you're simply a retail worker who usually gets treated poorly, not necessarily by the store, but by the customers. And it is an incredibly disheartening job. So Apple fan persons are, it seems, not the most charming. She said people come in just to complain, and how they complain. Maybe 60% of the time there's actually something wrong with the product, she said. But the point is they'll come to you, they won't have booked a Genius Bar appointment or have looked at it up online first. And about once a day I was called a bitch for not knowing how something worked. So we've got, we'll have a link for that story in the show notes.
Where on earth was this person working is what I want to know.
England.
Yeah, but what, I just cannot, that just, retail is an awful environment. It can be, but a lot of the time it's what the person makes of it themselves.
That's part of it, yes.
I don't know. That story just seems like, okay, here's, I don't know. Okay. Now, I bet you none of the people in the Apple store that I go to are called a bitch every day.
We would seriously hope not, because we're better than that, aren't we?
Well, I don't know. It just doesn't sound like, I just want to know, like, what sort of...
What's it to do with complaining POMs? Sorry.
Yeah, okay, that could be it. All right. Okay, yeah, it more makes sense now. Sorry. Sorry.
We apologise for that. Yes.
Yes. The thoughts and opinions expressed on Aussie Max are not necessarily those of those.
That's right. I could hear Glenn shouting at me now. Yeah, so we've also a reminder, the evening with Steve Wozniak, which is in New Zealand on the 23rd of August, Perth on the 24th, Brisbane on the 26th, Melbourne on the 27th, and Sydney on the 28th. And I do have my ticket for Sydney on the 28th.
There you go. I need to do something about that. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. So don't forget, I was just driving along the other day and went, oh, damn, I've got to get that ticket. I was praying. Yes. Yeah, please, everyone, get your ticket. Enjoy the night.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, well, I haven't run out of time yet if it's not until August, so that's all good.
Depends how fast people buy the tickets, but doesn't it?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Mine was about a third gone, I think. So yeah.
Okay.
And it's a Sunday night too. It's unusual, but anyway. He's probably got to get up early for class in the morning too.
Yes. Well, we're lucky we get the Friday night here, I think, in Brisbane. Yep. So yeah.
So we've also got to promote by choice. Aussie Tech Radio, which I've actually had.
By choice, Glenn holds a gun to your head every week. Tell the truth, come on.
Yeah, I started listening to Aussie Tech Radio again myself during the week. Set up a speaker at the school so that while I'm working away, I've got something to listen to, and excellent. So you got Aussie Tech Security Podcast, Aussie Tech Heads Podcast, for which Eric chickened out, I must say, at the moment. Quotes is too busy, but maybe we see what happens to the watch at the developers conference, eh?
Yeah.
Might have to
watch
force
OS 3.
Yeah.
Watch OS 3. Let's hope.
So yeah, you got Your Tech Life, or you got Two Blokes Talking Tech, or The Den. They're just a couple of shows that are on Aussie Tech Radio, and if you want your show on Aussie Tech Radio, just give a shout out to Glenn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're up to what are we up to? A tip, I think.
Yep. So
what have you got for us, Michael?
Yeah, so why is my new iPhone sometimes asking me to connect to the internet while my old iPhone did not? So today, a customer asked this today, and after some searching, some apps do not have mobile data turned on in settings for some reason. So you just go to settings, scroll down and tap the app in question, slide the mobile data slider to green, double tap the home button and return to your app. And it should just start working. You don't have to start it and stop it again. So, for that,
and I think the sort of the corollary to that tip is the fact that you can go in there and turn particular apps off.
Yeah, that's right as well. Yeah.
Yeah, which is can be handy as well.
And it's surprising how many apps try to get your location. Even whitepages.com tries to get your location data. So it says, we're making it easier to find you. We know you're in Penrith and you're obviously trying to find Fred Blogs in the suburb of Penrith.
Yeah.
Because really I want Fred Blogs in the suburb of Summerhill, for example, in Sydney. Or I'm trying to find Garth in the phone book, you know. But they still want to know that I'm in Penrith. Yeah. So.
You can tell it somewhere else. But yeah, no, at least it makes sense for that sort of app to ask for your location.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've got another little question here for everybody. So who would be interested in going to a screening of Steve Jobs the movie? So I'm thinking of either a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday morning. If you please email Michael at aussiemaxzone.com.au with movie and your subject, movie and your suburb as the subject. That's just so it can make a difference about what theatre we go to, or if everybody in Brisbane's interested and no one in Sydney's interested, I've got to work around that.
Yep.
I personally guarantee not to pass on the email address to anyone.
Of course.
And we need a minimum of 50.
Yeah.
And I'm also trying to arrange a little product fair to go with it, just a couple.
Oh, okay.
So, a couple of different distributors just showing a couple of little, the theatre, one of the theatres down here that I'm thinking about, it's not very big.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a one theatre. It's not very big. So that's just something that I'm playing with in
What
the back of mind. So
What's the date?
I'm thinking maybe the end of July or in September. You know,
I mean, I don't even know when. Hasn't when is it released here? I thought it was.
I think I think it, I don't know whether it's even been released here, but it's been released in America. We know, and I think it's almost been and gone in Sydney. There might have been one or two places that showed it, but I wasn't made aware of any. So,
No, I just didn't see it at all. See it come up on any of the. So you'd sort of get them to do just a screening. Is that?
yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay.
All right.
Now that makes more sense. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think it's just an opportunity for 50 Mac heads to get together and watch a good movie. I also tried to. I've discussed it with one of them to actually have two movies. So have a second one, which would be The Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Ah, yeah.
So
I'd like to see that too, actually.
yeah. So that's just a thought in the background. That one's that again. It depends where we go to, whether they're capable of, whether we can even get it anymore as such in theatre format.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Might have to. Whoever's got the biggest cinema room at home will go over their house.
yeah. Well, there was one. Actually, speaking, there was one company this week that was showing off a quote Pico projector, but it was slightly bigger than that, but had a really nice sound system with it as well, so that you could actually, and the photo was, a dozen people sitting around the backyard with drinks and a sheet hung up on the clothesline, and everyone watching a movie, which would be great in summer.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So there's some things to think about. And again, it'll be all in the show notes, which will be up almost straight away. Do we have anything else, my friend?
I think we've covered the gamut of all sorts of stuff there tonight.
Yeah, I think we did pretty well. So that's the best I can come up with.
You have come up with another fantastic week of stories there. That's great, Michael.
So don't forget ADKH web hosting, and thank you, Garth, for your time again. It was awesome.
Thank you, Michael, for putting it all together, and we'll get this show up and out to the people, hey?
Yeah, let's try. All the best.
Good night.
Good night.